Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Who do we have here? Hieroglyph, hieroglyph, hieroglyphs. Okay. Post-traumatic syndrome from past bad relationships. Okay. Hello there. It would be lovely if you let me know your gender, age, and where you're tuning in from. We have Maria. Says, hello, Meran. Hello, Maria, dear. Says, I was busy earlier, but I was listening to it. I'm glad to catch the live again. Female 28, Mexico. Wonderful of you to make time and be here with us. Delighted to have you. Twiggy from, let's see if I remember where Twiggy was from. Twiggy is from somewhere in Middle East, and I think she is from, where is it? Egypt? UAE? I'm not sure. Remind me. Twiggy says, oh, says another live. Good morning, Meran. You are available 24/7. It seems that way, doesn't it? Only on Saturdays, 24/7. We had one at 1 o'clock today. And then at the end, it kind of broke down. The OBS wasn't working, so I had to redo just another 1 hour. So we had 3 hours today. And usually at 9 or 9:30 p.m. on Saturday evenings, I have another ones for Australia and Asian countries in that neck of the wood. And it says, I just woke up. First thought, anxiety and feeling of guilt. Okay, we can talk about it tonight. Just remind me again which country you're tuning in from, and then talk about your feeling of guilt. We'll talk about that. Mazakaral says, hello, Meran. Hello there. And remind me of your age, gender, and where you're tuning in from, please. The protocol. And Juliana says, love from Canada. Oh, my goodness. Love from home country. And thank you very much. Love back from west coast of Canada. Where are you, Juliana? And let me know your gender, age, and which province. Perhaps that would give me a little bit, although knowing that you're from Canada is good enough. We don't often get Canadians here. In the whole many years of me doing this, we have only maybe 4 or 5 Canadians that we have had the opportunity to get to know and have them participate in our live streams. And we have some very loyal and helpful and supportive subscribers in Edmonton. And then we have, I think it's Edmonton, Alberta anyhow. And then we have some from Toronto, but not as much as we are known in Europe and United States, unfortunately. So somehow, somehow we are not even known much. We are lost in the sea of YouTube around the world anyhow. When they find us, they swear by the content and they find it very helpful. But we are hardly found, and I don't know what the secret is. We're doing whatever I know, but somehow we are not having a presence as we should have. Juliana says, I'm in Toronto. I'm a female and 36 years old. Thank you for that, and welcome, and thank you for the heart. A heart back. So now here, well, I don't know how much you know about us, Juliana, and how you found us. If you have seen the channel, then you know that we talk about breakups, and we use the understanding of thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, material process, mechanical process, order, routines, and then we understand the security of mind and where mind finds its security, and what are the fragments involved in understanding our psyche. And then we go on understanding fears, desires, anxieties. We go on to understand a little bit more about OCDs and subsets of OCDs, different kinds of OCDs, harm OCD, religious OCD, pedophile OCD, HOCD, which is homosexual OCD, and all other kinds of anxiety-based conditionings and glitches and malfunctions that the brain goes through. So hopefully that you know a little bit about us, but if you don't, then we're open to help you here as much as possibly we can. And Mazakaral says, hello Mehran, 32, male, Australia. Oh, finally someone from that neck of the wood, the down under. Says, I know you discussed non-intrusive thoughts and gaining clarity from a breakup, but I would like advice on how I can better learn, study, or absorb information to apply it. By all means. Remember, guys, we have over 2,000 or about 2,000 videos on this channel in regards to breakups, in regards to videos discussing thoughts, where thoughts come from, consciousness, the relationship between consciousness and thoughts, and talking about fears, desires, pleasure, ego, again, material process, mechanical process, order, and so on. We also have over 20,000 questions answered over the live streams over the years, and we continue discussing that. And if that's not enough and there are issues that you want to talk to me about, not on the public forum, you're most welcome to go on my channel, on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, mindthatseekstruth.com. And check out the books that I've written and look at the table of contents. There's a button you can push and table of content opens up. You can see what the book is all about, and you can read a sample chapter and decide to acquire it, whether in print or in ebooks. Ebooks are 1/10 of the price, and I suggest that because it's very easy and quick. And also you have a chance to, opportunity to take a look at the availabilities and packages involved for talking to me on Skype, one-on-one, exploring the issues that could be concerning you, and that is what I do all around the week for people around the world who need it. So Skype consultation is available for any new clients who books 1 hour. I throw in another hour, so we'll have 2 hours to discuss, and that would be wonderful opportunity for us to get to know each other and discuss in detail without having to rush, at least at the first time. Other than that, we're here for everyone who needs us, and more than happy to discuss topics that are of your concern. Emmanuel says, hello Mehran, male 28, Boston. Thank you for that, Emmanuel. Thanks for joining us. Juliana says, yes, I do. I watched you before and you helped me a lot about understanding breakups. Oh, wonderful. Delighted to hear that. Emmanuel says, I'm reading a book of metaphysics and I'm really enjoying it. Do you like metaphysics? Well, you know, you have seen some of my work here. Depends on what specific example you have. But if you have taken a look at the seminars I did at the local university in regards to end of fear, and we discussed about the power of mind, and it's very important for you to understand the mechanism of the brain and the fact that how powerful the brain is, and at the same time understand that if you do not educate yourself about the mechanism of the brain and what it is, it can lead you astray and take you to gutters. Because brain is an independent system. It's not necessarily going to listen to you, and you don't have much control on its intrusive activities. So therefore, it is important for you to understand how it works so you can use it, communicate with it well, and to be able to use it to excel you in the direction that you want to accomplish and take you to success in projects that you are involved and want to bring to fruition. Otherwise, if you don't understand it, you'll be fooled by thinking that the brain is you, and anything that shows up and conjures up and appears in the screen of the head is actually a deity suggestion or describes or represents you in many different facets, and that would be a mistake because you're the boss. You use the brain as an apparatus. Brain is not you, you're not the brain. You're not thoughts, and thoughts are not you. Therefore, do not be fooled by thinking that what shows up in the brain in form of any thoughts, intrusive or otherwise, it represents you, your interest, your inclination of any kind, or it has a message or deity or whatever it could mean. It's got nothing to do with you. You're the boss, and you will choose and select what thoughts are of any use and which ones are irrelevant and meaningless to you. And you gauge all thoughts that show up, intrusive or otherwise, against your core principles, your values, your gatekeeper, your wise advocate, and you will understand that you are in control of the choices, while you may not be in control of what is produced by the brain in the form of thought, suggestions and images and so on that appears, which most of them are intrusive, but you are in control of choosing which thought to ignore, and which thought you simply find it useful to use it for whatever it is that you want to accomplish. That is how you approach your relationship with brain, rather than thinking that brain is you and you're the follower of the brain. In fact, you are the most important, you are the persona, and brain, liver, and kidneys and everything else are working for you, not the other way around. So having said that, let's see what we have here that could need a discussion. And Emmanuel says, all right, then I guess if you look at I was trying to get at this, I guess if you look at the video number 7 in the playlist, Intrusive, Transient, OCD, HOCD, Negative Thoughts, there are about maybe 50, 60 videos in that playlist, but video number 7, there are like 21 of them are numbered. Video number 7 shows you a small portion of the excerpts from that seminar I did at the local university in regards to that what I was just talking about. You can see the power of mind, that you can actually use it in altering the rule of physics on this earth, and you will see that power, that you use it in order to demonstrate or show how powerful the brain is, that you can use for your success. If you don't, it can also go rogue and take you to places that you don't even want to consider knowing where it is, let alone being there. So as helpful the brain can be, it can also be dangerous. That's why you need to understand it. And video number 7 shows you a little bit glimpse of how it can be used, and also show you the power of it, that how it can work against you if you listen to it or you take it seriously. Now, having said all that, let's see what we have here. I hope you guys have your teas and coffees with you, because here in West Coast, that's about 10 o'clock p.m., and it's time to have a good green tea, isn't it? And Juliana in the West is probably what? 1 o'clock? What are you doing up so late? I guess look who's talking. I'm usually up till about 3 or 4 o'clock, either working or finding the quietness of night a perfect time for pondering and coming up with understandings that I'm looking for. So we have 8 people here and 2 like. That means what? 6 of you don't like us? What's going on? So get that fragile finger, the index, and click on like. It doesn't take much. We can fool YouTube to think that we're very popular. Everybody likes us. Perhaps we'll have more of a presence when YouTube is trying to, through its algorithm, choose which channels are going to be represented or which ones wouldn't be suggested. Emmanuel, if you say that you like metaphysics, I hope you have had a chance to take a look at my latest upload, which was a recording, an informal recording that I did when I was walking about the beach at night here. When I usually do my pondering, I just thought of a certain way of delivering some points to you guys for whoever would be interested in, and then I just recorded something, and then I thought maybe I'd just put up the recording instead of just redoing it, and that upload is called Time, Anxiety, and HOCD. I wonder if you have had a chance to take a look at that, Emmanuel. And here's the link for that. So we have Aman here, says 19, male, India. Says how to create distance from thoughts. In the specific, what do you mean? I could make many different meanings out of that sentence, but elaborate so I can elaborate. The distance from thought is that simply first you understand what is thinking, then how thought is created, the origin of thought, which I have many different videos on those topics. The origin of thought, roots of thoughts, where thoughts come from, what is thinking, and of course intrusive thoughts, and so on and so forth. And you understand that there is a difference between thoughts that are being created by you, the me, using the apparatus of the brain, and thoughts that are used by the brain, thoughts that are created by the brain using the apparatus of the brain. In other words, brain using its own apparatus, its own abilities to create thoughts, which does that independently, unbeknown to you, 80, 90,000 times a day, and you should know about that to separate yourself from thought by this understanding. And then, of course, the thoughts that you create by using the tool of the brain and manipulating it for what you want to create, which is a certain specific ingredients you pick up from the field of the known, the consciousness, and you use it to figure out something, calculate something, learn something, design something, produce something, accomplish something. That's your thinking, your thoughts, which is different than what thought creates, what brain creates. But in another video that I've described, Who's Talking to God, that was a example in order, that wasn't supposed to be anything religious about it, but it was supposed to make it clear for people, because most people have had some experience of discussing or praying or something that they are creating. And we discussed in that video that when you're talking to God, let's say, this is not necessarily about God or religious, but it's about being able to deliver what I want to deliver. So when you're talking to God, who is talking to God? Who is the one who's doing the talking? You understand that there are words being uttered or talked or thought directed to God. That's when you are creating thoughts and words in the form of prayer, and you're creating that consciously. Then there is a thought that is watching what you're creating, the watcher, the observer. That's awareness. You're aware of what discussion is taking place, that you're uttering certain things to God. You're doing it, and then there's a thought that is aware awareness of this is happening. That awareness is you. This one who is doing the talking is you using the apparatus of the brain to create a communication, to create thoughts, to create discussion. And the other one that is watching the discussion taking place, that's awareness. That's you. Then there is a thought that the brain is making it, intrusive thoughts. That is what brain creates, not you. It's got nothing to do with you. You're totally out of it. It's not under your control. It's independent system, and intrusive thought has nothing to do with you. But then an awareness comes to you, something runs to you, says, hey, there is an intrusive thought. Again, that awareness that is becoming aware of the existence of the intrusive thought, which is when the brain is using its own apparatus to do something with it, which is creating the intrusive thoughts in this case, that awareness, that thing, that thought, that watcher that is being reported to of this incident, that's the awareness. That's you again. So you're the observer. That's you. That's awareness. When you talk to God, that's you using the brain, doing something with it. And intrusive thoughts are when the brain itself is using its own apparatus to come up with nonsense. So you got to separate that, and that would be your understanding and separation from useless thoughts and thoughts that you have nothing to do with it. That perhaps, Aman, would be a short answer to your big question. Auto Worlds says, thanks. I don't know for what, but you're welcome. He says, my favorite channel. Really, thanks. Really, okay. He said, thanks for the videos. Very nice videos. Very charming. Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you very much. And all the flowers and hearts and kisses and all that. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Very kind of you. And it would be great if you also let us know where you're tuning in from, how old you are, and what gender you are, and that would be good. Erfa401 says, hi, Mr. Mehran. I am 25 years old from Iran. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, you've been here once before, haven't you? So we can actually be reached from that far, because apparently Iran has certain kind of restrictions on YouTube and programs of that sort. So you must have a filter of some kind to get through it. Gaurav Agrawal says, hey, watching your video after a very long time. Good to see you, and thank you very much, Gaurav. Yes, I remember you've been here before, so remind us about your age and where you're tuning in from. And Type O Negative says, hello, Mehran, male 22 USA. I feel like I will never find love. Well, nobody feels that they will find love while they haven't found it, but they will feel that they have found it when they actually find it. So it's like you have lost, I don't know, some kind of a marble or some kind of, maybe you lost your watch and you feel like I'll never find it. But lo and behold, that when you find it, you say, hey, I was wrong, I found it. And it usually happens because often you've just misplaced it. It's not that it's lost. And love, well, you know, the roots of it is that there's so many women around that you're bound to fall in love, whether you want it or not. And there would be a woman who's going to, fall in love with you, whether you want it or not. You may not be aware of it, but that's going to happen. And you're not going to be orchestrating it. It's just going to happen. So you continue your life, be productive, and build something wonderful that you want to build. Be busy with your life. Create that confidence through accomplishments, and that energy that comes from the confidence because of your accomplishment will exude outwardly, and that energy will attract a certain kind of possibilities that you might be expecting, and then you go from there. So in the meantime, focus on building your life, whether it's your studies or education or your job or whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. Just focus on that. Don't worry about looking around to look for something. You haven't had something that you lost it, now you're looking for it. So Don't look for anything. Just focus on accomplishing, and that energy itself will put you in the path that you will surprisingly find things that you didn't expect. And that would be far more pleasant than you've been looking at something and you say, oh, I found it. But you're not looking and you're doing your instincts. Oh, I found a jewel. Wow, how interesting. So it's, kind of more interesting, exciting, isn't it? And he says that I always feel like things with women never go right. Well, it's not like that. Just maybe the experiences you've had has been like that, but that doesn't mean the experience you've had is all the experience that could be had in a relationship with women. So just be cool about it and continue learning from these experiences and, find what's useful for you and make any modifications that you think you need to do. And at the same time, expect quality and qualifications from the women that you meet. Just because you love women, that doesn't mean every woman that comes across is qualified. And if you don't qualify them, you may find that it didn't work out and you think there was something wrong with you. No. Why should it be? There could be something that it just wasn't compatible. And that goes both ways. So you got to be a little careful about how you judge yourself. At the same time, just go in and do your best, be your best, and see if it's compatible or not. If it was, great. If it wasn't, next. No big deal. Nobody in this world is summing up the whole experience of life. Everybody is a fragment of this experience, of this journey of life. And if one experience doesn't work, that doesn't mean the whole journey of life is a loss or is a failure. It just means that you got to go to another tangent and another experience, and then eventually, through these experiences, you learn enough and learn which path to go, which path to follow, which thing to be interested in, and how to figure out if this would be your cup of tea or not. The sooner the better, that relationship. And he says, how can I change this feeling love is making me suffer? No. Sometimes if you think you're in love, but it's lust and not love, that would have more suffering than not actually being in a relationship. So just being in a relationship, that's not a bliss. That's not that's not a fortune. Being in a right relationship is what you're looking for. So as long as it's that right relationship hasn't been found, it's better not to be in a relationship. Otherwise, you be in a relationship and naturally you're programmed to to adore and appreciate the woman that you have found to be in a relationship with, but that may not be love, because she may just be interested in you and you are programmed to pay that kind of attention, and that's more lust than love, and you don't even know who she is, what she's all about, and she doesn't know who you are, what you're all about. And until you guys know about each other's consciousness, what you're really interacting with is each other's images. She has an image of herself and she has an image of you in her mind, and you have an image of yourself in your mind and you have an image of her in your mind, and these images are having a relationship and you don't even know each other. And then when it doesn't work, you wonder, oh, she left me, or she says, oh, you left her. But in fact, your images were having a relationship. You didn't even know each other. And when you got to know each other a little bit, you found out that it's not compatible. So from the beginning, instead of being duped with the lust, focus on the persona, the quality that is at play, the qualities that are involved and playing a role in building that relationship. And then you will have a better chance to decide if this is your cup of tea or not. Twiggy says, so my brain, as I woke up, started with flooding me with negative thoughts. I'm ignoring it, but kind of left me with feeling bad. Yes, it does. If you believe, look, you can't stop thoughts flowing all around. But when you linger with them and discuss things with them and try to consider them as a live entity, that's when you start getting into trouble, because you think they have intelligence and that you're interacting with an intelligence. because they don't have it and they don't even know what they're producing, they're just manufacturing thoughts, because brain is a thought manufacturing plant. And if you take this mechanical system as an intelligence, you end up thinking that it has any intelligence or message in this particular thought that showed up, but it doesn't. So what you need to do is like consider it as if you walk in a crowded train station or bus station or crowded mall, and there's so many people around. Just because they're around, that doesn't mean that you have anything in common with them, or you gotta understand or accept their opinion. They each have opinion of different kind. Brain is like that, makes all kind of thoughts, and none of those thoughts are relevant to you. They're all irrelevant to you. But because it comes from the brain that is in your head, you think, oh, it must be me. It's not you. It's no different than those other people outside of you in the train station. It's got nothing to do with you. Nothing in common whatsoever. It's independent system. They come from a different place, different culture, different understanding, different everything. And if you start thinking that what they say and their opinion describes you, then the same way you're going to be thinking these thoughts have anything to do with you. They don't. Brain is a thought manufacturing plant. It makes all kinds of thoughts. But you've been conditioned to think what it shows up in your head, you're supposed to pay attention to it. Because ever since childhood, you've been brainwashed to think that you do math through using your head, your brain. Brain is smart. Brain is intelligence. It's not. Brain is a tool, an apparatus. And as it can calculate or help you to make food and ingredients or be kind, it can also come up with all kind of nasty things and disgusting images and suggestions and thoughts, which has nothing to do with you, and you have no interest in it. So don't think just because you do math with it, then the brain is your leader or what you should be following. No. Brain is no different than your kidney or your liver or any other organs or parts of you. You ultimately decide if that organ or that part of you is functioning well, is healthy or not. And you're supposed to be a judge of its production to see if it's useful for you or not. Not just because anything it conjures up or anything that it creates, it's of value to you, or if it's got credibility or anything. No, you should get to know that these are apparatuses that all together are working for you as if they're employed by you and you're the boss. And you judge their behavior and their productions. Brain, kidney, liver, whatever it is. I mean, you eat food and you turn it into energy, and many part of it is not, and it turns into feces, and it's residual. You gotta get rid of them. And you can't say just because it's produced by your body, therefore it's valuable. No, you gotta get rid of it. It's feces. It's because of the functions that is done, it has created exhaust. Brain also makes all kind of things that is useless, and it's feces. It has to be got rid of. How do you get rid of them? By not paying attention to them. Not that anything that shows up in your head, you value it, you think it's credible. No, it's not. Yeah, it's your head, but your head is not a deity, is not, functioning perfectly according to what you want it to function. It's an independent system. It comes up with all kind of junk. So you got to judge it as it's a robot. It's a dumb brain is a tool. It's not by itself intelligent. You're the one who gives it intelligence, but what you use it to create and produce. And Juanpa says, male 24, Costa Rica. He says, Pura vida, Meran. Pura vida to you as well. He says, nice sweater. Oh, yeah, thank you. It's my son's gift to me. And I like it. Yellow is my favorite color, so anything yellow, I guess I like it. And he bought me a bike that is yellow. I don't know, something about yellow ever since I was a kid. I like lemon. I like things that are yellow jackets. Everybody has it. We all have something, with us, so that's my thing. And Carl Bryan says, hi, Meran, 28 New Zealand. Oh, my goodness. Kia ora, Carl. Good to see you here. Says 28 New Zealand male. Good to see you again. Well, good to see you as well, Carl. And type O negative says, no lust. I just want a genuine relationship with a girl. I enjoy their company. I just want a girl that feels the same way for me. I want to experience that kind of relationship. Yes. So continue building your life, prepare, and through your journey, what you're accomplishing in life, what you're learning, what you're attending to, and all your duties and responsibilities, you're bound to come across some girl that you will find things in common. But continue your journey, and on this journey there are lots of new and interesting things, and some of these interesting things could be the girl you're looking for to get to know. So just keep going. There's no secret to it. Just keep on living your life positively and be as wonderful as you are, and you'll eventually attract the right girl for you. Sunny says, how to remain detached from women. Why do you want to remain detached from women? That's one thing that you want to be attached. And says, I'm casually hooking up with a girl. It's not such a good idea. Eventually you got to give that up, because if your relationship is only founded and its foundation is pleasure, it's not something you can build on. Pleasure, you can't build anything on pleasure. It's a momentary thing that it makes you feel good, but has no actuality or substance to use it to build something on it. Pleasure is only ha ha ha, wonderful, feels good, da da da. But there's no intelligence there, there is no exchange of ideas, there is no bonding on consciousness level. It's nothing there. You know, it's just like you go to I don't know, a fun fair, and you experience some rides, and there's a pleasure. When you come out of it, that's totally gone. It was an experience. It made you feel good, but there's nothing to hold on to as a certain kind of a constructive blocks to build something with it. So building your life based on pleasure, whether it's that and this or that kind of pleasure, or just hooking up with girls here and there, so you will do that for a while. Then eventually you're going to see that there is nothing's going to come out of it, because it's pleasure, 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 but it's all meaningless eventually. Yeah. So when you say I want to detach myself from women, it says hooking up with girls, both of us are promiscuous, but with time I feel possessive on the inside, jealous and insecure if my friends talk to her. Well, you know, it's always a natural thing that a heterosexual male is programmed to love, appreciate, protect, and want a woman to be his. It's just not something that you want to try to change yourself. That's the ingredients that the blocks, building blocks that you're made out of. That's a feeling that you have. No matter how much they try to supposedly tame you and take that teeth off of your mouth, that you shouldn't be this or that. No, that's the relationship between man and a woman. Man loves his woman, wants his woman. And you just got to understand that it should be two-way street. If the woman doesn't want to be with you, then you got to ask yourself, why is it that she doesn't want to be with me, but I want to be with her? Because if she doesn't want to be with me, that means we don't have bonding on consciousness level. We don't have enough things in common. So why is it that I still want to be with her, want to have her? Is because you are lusting for her. You're not in love with her anymore, because logically you can't really like a woman who doesn't like you or doesn't want to continue her relationship with you. So why is it that you do? it's only sex, because you're programmed in your genes for procreation. So this program continues, wants that relationship to continue, even though there are no bonding on consciousness level. So the indication that this is not a right woman for you is when she doesn't want to be with you. So if that's the case, you never want to be with a woman who doesn't want to be with you. Because if you do, that means it's not because you really have things in common with her or compatible with her or bonding on consciousness. It just means that you lust for her. And lust is not enough to build a relationship with. So anytime that you see a woman is not interested to be with you, that's your cue that you're actually, that's not a right girl for you. And if you do, that's not real. That's just lust, which is not good enough to base your relationship. So you have to let that go and understand that she has as much freedom and as much right as you have, and it should be two-way street. So when she doesn't want to, then you got to let go. You can't train yourself to be okay with letting her go, but you should logically understand that this is the way to react. If she doesn't want to be with you, you also, if you want to protect her, if you actually want to love her and like her and make sure she's protected, part of that is to let her go, to let her have what she wants in terms of relationship with you. Then you have become a real man, a real strong man, because you can withstand and stand in front of your own ego, which is the way to be a real man, not to constantly pursue her and make her uncomfortable because you want her. Doesn't matter what you want. It's a matter of what both are okay with it or not. And if one of you is not okay, then the other one should respect it, because that would make it complete in the way of protecting a woman. You should respect her wishes when it comes to her interest in being in any relationship with you or not. Friendship or intimate relationship. Either way, it has to be both way and consensual. So that's your clue. You deal with that regardless of if it feels comfortable or not, and there is no trick about it. You just have to say, that's my rule, I comply with that, because as part of protecting a woman, meaning you protect her from everything, including your own desires and ego. So you protect her from yourself as well as you protect her from other things. Excuse me. Maybe tea will do it. All right. And Sonny says, I'm 19 from India. All right. Erfa says 401. Erfa 401 says, I was in a relationship with someone for almost 4 years, and for some reason we could not continue after 2 years. Sorry, you were in a relationship with someone for 4 years, but for some reason you couldn't continue after 2 years. So you were in a relationship with her in 2 years, not 4 years. Are you pulling my leg? What's going on? After 2 years now, oh, after 4 years you broke up, and after 2 years after the 4 years, I have lost my self-confidence. Really? Where'd you lose it? Where'd you lose it? Self-confidence is not something that you can lose it. It's not something that can fit in your pocket. It's like Austin Powers movies. He was looking for his mojo in one of these movies, but Fat Bastard had gotten its mojo. That's what he thought. When he was frozen, Fat Bastard, stuck a needle and he pulled his mojo. And that's what he thought to the end of the movie. And at the end of the movie, he figured it out. The mojo never left because he's the source of building mojo. It can't run out. Same thing with you. Your confidence comes from your lifestyle, comes from your accomplishments, comes from the person that you are, what you learn, how you stand in front of your ego, how you make right decisions, how you understand the world the way you want to understand it. It's got nothing to do with losing it or somebody taking it away from you. And if you think because some girl rejected you, then you've lost your confidence, well, you didn't get your confidence because she came to you. Because if you didn't have confidence before she came to you, she wouldn't have come to you. So it's not like she came to you, then you got confidence. You had the confidence. That's why she was attracted to you. Now that she has left after 4 years, eventually you guys decided it's not working, one of you or both of you, well, you're just back with whatever you had before she came to your life, which is you and the way you thought and your confidence. So your confidence really never left you, and you didn't gain it because she came to your life, and you didn't lose it because she left from the relationship. So if you look at it that way, nothing has changed in you. You're just thinking that way. And I told you, most thoughts are nonsense. Says, I can't talk to a girl I like even in... Well, it's not like you can't. It's like you're asking for attention. You can. You're the same person as before. But you're thinking, if I can't, everybody knows why I can't, because that girl didn't do justice for me, and I want everybody to know that that girl didn't do justice. So you're just fishing for attention. Be a man. Put your jacket on and go to the next girl in a social media and say, hi, how you doing? What's up? That's the least they can do. Or you want to be a gentleman, so you can say, how's your evening? Hope you're having a good time. And then pass by. Don't start talking. Just pass by, smile and say, how you doing? Hope you're having a good time. And go. And about 15 minutes later, you may pass by and say, oh, how's it going? Is it any better? And go. Slowly this time. And the third time, and she may actually respond to you. Says, oh, yeah, it's not bad. The music is good. Or you can come up and say, well, I think at least the music is better this time, 15 minutes later. That's the way you kind of, politely start feeling if she's interested to talk to you. And if she is, then you continue. What's a big deal? What are you afraid of? What do you think? Why? Because you have turned a woman and a relationship into the whole experience of life. And therefore, since that one didn't work out, you think that was the whole experience of life, and therefore nothing else is there for you to explore. Why? Really? That girl is the essence of the whole experience of this journey of life? That's it? Nothing else really is interesting? Or you haven't had the chance to explore and see how many amazing experiences and amazing women are out there, amazing relationships that you can have, amazing things you can learn, instead of summing it up into one relationship or one woman. You're cheating yourself out of what gift you have, gift of life, to experience this life with and learn and enjoy. So go on with it and learn from Austin Powers and go on, get your mojo, and doesn't matter if this girl or that girl and the next one wasn't interested with you, as long as you're polite and gentleman, cordial, they don't want to have anything to do with you, no problem. Next and next and next and next, until you find someone who appreciates getting to know you, and that's the one that matters. All right. All right. Sorry about that. To respond to that. So, who do we have here? So, are we done? No more questions. And Outer World hasn't responded to us that where she's tuning in from and how old she is and so on. All right, I'll have a couple of sips of my tea and then we'll see if anybody else has any questions before we wrap it up. Well, that's a first. We've got 5 people here and 12 likes. I mean, that's a statistics that I can live with. It's been the other way around, and that would be a problem, wouldn't it? I wonder if we have any connection problems the other ends. It looks like an excellent connection here because we seem to. Stephen is here. Says hi, Mehran. Stephen, male, 4D, Los Angeles. Hello, Stephen. Good to see you here. I mean, everybody knows that Saturdays at 1 p.m. we have live stream, and Saturday nights at 9:30 we have live stream. But with the number of emails and number of comments and questions that I received during the week, and while I let everybody know that we have these live streams on Saturday 1 p.m. and Saturday 9:30 p.m., I would have expected people would take advantage from it and would be here packing it up. But somehow it looks like, I mean, this is the right time for Asian countries. What is it, 10 o'clock, 10:36? That's about 10 o'clock in the morning the next day. And also Australia would be like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's perfect timing. I wonder how come we don't have people who actually want questions answered all throughout the week. They're not here when it's available for them. Steven says, I was getting ready for bed listening to this live chat, and your laughing made me laugh. I do usually laugh because I guess that's the only thing I can do. I'm probably laughing at my own channel that has got so very little numbers on live streams, while there's so many comments and emails are received separately for answers, but when I'm here to give it, what is it, Saturday night, nobody can be out really. It's pandemic, everywhere is shut down, right? So what are you guys doing? This should be the time everybody should be tuned in for some discussion, I guess. But anyhow, it's good that you could make it. I'll be here another few minutes, and then I guess I'll pack it up. It's been 1 hour, and we don't have any more questions, so that would be, looks like that everybody's in good shape then. Steven says, I think you had over 20 people at 1 p.m. Yeah, we had 32 actually at one time. It was pretty good. El Professor says, hello, Mehran, 21-year-old male, Sri Lanka. Oh, yes, I'm having tea from Sri Lanka right now. I think that's where it is coming from. I have tea from different parts. Sometimes it's from Bangladesh, sometimes it's from Sri Lanka. I think Sri Lanka is famous for its Assam, is it? Or am I wrong? Assam is in India. But there's so much good tea from that corner of the world. It's just amazing. And El Professor says, what do you want to say about lust? I did. So I mean role of lust in life. Well, yeah. If there was no feeling of that, and you would have had to wait for love, for procreation, well, not necessarily every husband and wife started their lives with the kind of love that they would hope for, and they couldn't tell the difference between lust and love. Many people think the feeling that they have is love, but it could simply be lust, because naturally men and women are programmed for procreation, and they're attracted to each other. So it works. I mean, whether they understand it's lust or love, they get married and they have children, so that helps the nature to, populate itself. If that wasn't there, and they were waiting for something that they would define as love, it could have taken too long or longer. I guess many people from the old ancient times, they would see each other, and that lust and love wouldn't have any difference in their eyes. They wouldn't understand the difference, and the attraction would meant love. But we discussed it just a short while ago, and there's so much to talk about it, but we have in different videos and so on. That is not a valid question, El Professor, because that is decided when you are created in the womb of your mother. There is, you have love and lust depending on your true gender as you're being put together towards the, what it is that your program is. It's not something that you're going to, necessarily choose against what is natural to you. So each person may be different, but whatever you're born and created as, that is your inclination. So So it looks like that we don't have any questions here anymore, and we've been around for over 1 hour. I think that would be enough. Perhaps this is time for me to say, I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, sharing a thing, allowing me to share a thing or two with you. And I look forward to talk to you again next Saturday at 1 p.m. Vancouver time, and next Saturday at 9 or 9:30 p.m. Vancouver time. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.